later in the. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Sylvia, roll call.
Mayor Clark?
Here.
Council President Harris?
I am here.
Councilor Kuiper is absent, as is Councilor Robinson. Councilor Garland?
Here.
Councilor Young? Here. Thank you.
All right, we've got approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Thank you, Council. New business, Resolution 2017-058, declaring a Sherwood City Council seat vacant. Josh Silver.
Thank you, Mayor and councilors. So as you all know, Councilor Dan King resigned from his position due to relocating outside of the city boundaries. Our Sherwood City Charter and Code require the City Council, after that happens, to declare the position vacant. Also, our charter now requires that not only that it be referred to a vote to fill that seat on a more permanent basis, but also in the interim that council appoints somebody to temporarily fill that seat until it's filled by election. So we've prepared a resolution that will declare the seat vacant and direct the city manager to take the steps necessary to put the position on the ballot for November 7th of 2017, and also initiate the process under our city code for filling the vacancy on a temporary basis.
Okay. Thank you, staff. Council, do you have any questions for staff?
Nope.
Well, I think we have to declare it's vacant because clearly it's vacant. So, do I have a motion?
I move that we adopt Resolution 2017-058, declaring a Sherwood City Council seat vacant.
Second?
Second.
Third.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Thank you, Council.
Mayor and Council, I just, for the public viewing, if there's anyone watching, Sylvia will work with Josh tomorrow to post the notice of the vacancy. We're going to have applications due by August 24th.
Okay, so could you speak a little louder? So August 24th.
August 24th
Okay.
at 5 p.m. Will be the deadline. And Josh's staff reported the code requires at least 2 weeks. I think this is a 3-week window or 3.5-week window for applicants. And then we can talk about this depending on the number of applicants you receive and how many you interview, targeting September 5th as the night you could interview and then make the appointment on September 5th when you meet in September. But if you get 20 applicants, then we have to discuss, are you going to interview everybody and things like that. So we'll wait and see how many applicants you get.
Okay, sounds great. I know, right? So, all right. So it sounds like the 24th will be the deadline, and all the information will be up on our website for anyone who is interested.
The other deadline that people may be interested to know is August 31st, which is the deadline to file for the election.
Okay. Thank
August
you,
24th
Josh.
August 24th is to
Be appointed.
and then
August 31st is
file for the
if
election.
you want to run in the election for the open seat.
And you would file with Sylvia. Right.
Thank you for adding that in. All right, great. Okay, so we've got a public hearing. Sylvia, you want to read the?
The Sherwood City Council will hold a public hearing this evening to hear testimony on 2 items on the agenda. Ordinance 2017-004, approving annexation to the city of Sherwood of 2.21 acres comprised of 1 tax lot and adjacent to Southwest Old Highway 99 Highway 99 Road right-of-way within the Brookman Addition Concept Plan area, and Ordinance 2017-005, amending Section 10.12.010 of the Municipal Code relating to the powers of the City Council and the City Manager to establish traffic controls, declaring emergency. The purpose of the hearing is to provide the public with an opportunity to submit testimony on the above said items. The order of business the council will follow in conducting this hearing is to hear a staff report, receive correspondence, receive public testimony, and additional staff comments. Questions from the council will follow. The hearing will then be closed and no further testimony will be received. Discussion by the council will follow. Any interested person may present testimony. If you wish to speak, please fill out the testimony form and submit it to the city recorder. The mayor will recognize those persons wishing to speak, and any questions should be addressed through the mayor. When you come to the microphone, please state your name and address for the record, as this hearing will be recorded, and limit your testimony to 4 minutes.
Thank you, Sylvia. And so I want any citizens that might be viewing tonight to understand that this is our second reading on both of these ordinances. And so what we're going to hear is an abbreviated version of what we have already heard. And so if you want the more detailed version of what we heard at our last council meeting, then go ahead and view the council meeting that is just prior to this one. Just so people don't think that we are doing something quick without information or not asking lots of great questions. This is the second time that we have gone through the same material. So, all right, thank you. It gives our public an opportunity, if they wanted to speak on it, to do so. I'll go to staff.
Thank you, Mayor. Fellow council members, Matt Straight presenting for staff. The first reading of this ordinance for the annexation of the 2-acre parcel was on July 11th. So if they're looking for that record, that's where they can find that. At that time, we went through the criteria in great detail. Tonight, we're just going to present a short refresher on the project instead. The site is located on the southern edge of the city. More specifically, it is westerly of Old Highway 99 and easterly of Aspen Lake Drive. The site is 2 acres and features a single-family home and a few outbuildings. The right-of-way required for this annexation is 0.21 acres, as you can see on the slide in front of you. The site is within the Brookman Addition Concept Plan area, and the land use and zoning for that site, according to that plan, are medium-density residential low. All the utilities exist at the boundary site, as does the right-of-way required for the project. The project meets all the required criteria, including the state, regional, and local level criteria. With that, staff recommends adoption of the ordinance approving the annexation, and this concludes staff's presentation.
All right, thank you. So I will open up the public hearing time. Do we have any comments? Okay. Eugene Stewart.
Eugene Stewart, property owner within the city limits. One question I have is, what I've seen is a long time ago, it was determined that the city needed to be 60% residential, 40% commercial. And I don't believe there's been any indication as to what ratio we are at now. So I think also there's no rules or anything on how are we going to step up to where we bring our commercial up to the level that we need it to be. When we say 40% commercial, is that of the land area or is that of the land value? What is important to note is that the premise is that on commercial property, it takes less tax dollars to support it than it does residential, especially the school districts involved. So one of the things that wanted to be done when the original comprehensive plan was formed was to make the city more balanced so that we don't have such high property taxes and that we have a business base to support it. I know this is a small amount of land, but it keeps adding on. You keep taking commercial property and changing it to residential, and you do not have any rationale as to how you're going to get to that percentage that is within your comprehensive plan. So it seems like you need some regulations or something on how you're going to do this so that maybe you permit so much residential as the commercial builds back up. I know one of the things is that what I don't understand is that like Amazon.com, their commercial sites, they're looking for 70-acre sites that they run through Real Estate Investment Trust. We've got some land out there that probably would fit, but how do we get them and bring them into the city? It seems like they would be good employers, maybe not them, other things, but there evidently is a need for these large commercial sites. And one of the few parts, I think, in the metro area where some of those sites could be available. It seems like we should be pushing for these. And if we are, then maybe the small ones, you can let them come in. But at this point, I think, it just ruins our economic part of the comprehensive plan. Thank you.
Thank you, Jean. Naomi Bella?
Hi, my name is Naomi Belov, and I'm here just to bring your attention to the fact that the water that will be needed for any new development brought into the city is not a resource that is just indispensable, that is renewable. And you might be aware that the city of Lake Oswego right now is being sued for their overuse of the Clackamas River. And I just wanted to bring your attention to this issue, because as every new home or new business or industrial area is brought into the city limits, not just does the city of Sherwood have to be aware of where the water is coming from to run these businesses or to keep their homes supplied with drinkable water, it's also coming from the Willamette River for us. And I go to George Rogers Park in Lake Oswego quite often and take my kids swimming, and we have a canoe, so we use the river for recreation. It's a beautiful river. And even despite the record rainfall that we had this winter and this spring, the level of water in the Willamette has just dropped down significantly. Even this spring when the houseboats were coming off their pilings because the water was so high, that didn't seem to affect the amount of water that's in the river now. So I know currently they're building that huge water line connecting the Willamette water to Hillsborough. And Hillsborough is, because it's in Washington County, is developing at an astronomical rate. Like one of the fastest developing counties is Washington County here in Oregon, of which we're a part. And I just think you really need to think ahead, not 1 year, not 2 years, but 5 years. Where's the water going to come from? The underground aquifers are drying up, and the Willamette River is not going to be able to support indefinite development. My second point is that the voters here in Sherwood have already voted not once, not twice, but 3 times, saying no to Brookman annexation. And these are intelligent people that make their vote, they base their votes on information, like where's the water coming from to support new development, where can our ecosystem support it? So as you consider taking the beautiful farmland on Brookman and turning it into homes, I know this is significantly smaller than some of the annexations proposed in the past. However, it is still development, and it will lead to more if you decide to go this route against representing your citizens who voted you in to represent them. The last time that the citizens voted, well, the first time was in 2011. The next time was in 2013. And the last time, there was 3,310 voted no to the annexation. And Mayor Clark, as somebody who was your campaign manager, I know you voted to keep Sherwood livable. So keeping Sherwood livable, in my point of view, is keeping it affordable, keeping it sustainable within the ecosystem that we exist in, keeping the water supply in mind, keeping that concern. I mean, the people that vote are intelligent people. They make their decisions. They're not just doing it for random, reasons just to disagree with the city council. And secondly, we just approved a school bond. I mean, that's a huge amount of money that we've decided to give to this school, which people overwhelmingly supported and thought it was a good idea. So when they do see the city council voting against what they recommended in their last 3 votes, people are going to wonder, why is the city council not listening to us? We see a concern here where our schools are at capacity already. By the time the new high school is built, it will be at capacity. So if you keep bringing in more development, more homes, we'll have to pass a new school bond and build a new school. So my 2 concerns are not just the viability of the ecosystem, but also of the taxpayers to support new development. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do we have any additional public comment? Okay, I'll close the public comment time and bring it back to staff. So, council, did you have any additional questions for staff? I just wanted to verify, and maybe you don't know the answer, and Julia might off the top here. The last time we had to vote in the last annexation for Brookman, I think we questioned the school district and whether or not the schools had the capacity to hold the estimated amount of students that might come from Brookman. And I think the answer from the school district was when they did their last estimation, they included the Brookman area. So the new school already was expected to house or school the people from the.
That's my understanding, yes, that when they did their study and analysis that basically led them to conclude that they needed to go out for the school bond measure, it included areas within the Brookman developing because it is in the urban growth boundary.
I think it's in their, what they call their 10-year plan the school district has on their website.
That sounds correct, but I can't guarantee that.
I believe that's correct, yes.
Okay, thank you. Questions, council? All right, do we have some discussion? So I think
we heard this last time. So.
Yeah, I think that we've been unfortunately over this more than once as one of our citizens brought up that we have been faced with the annexation, and although our citizens voted against it, we have been removed of our right by the state legislature. And please correct me if I am wrong, council. General counsel there, if you could help that, because I don't think that it really can be stated too much that it is not necessarily the will of the council. In fact, I think we've heard over and over again that it hasn't been the will of the council. In fact, myself and I think Counselor, did you go and did you make a testimony?
Written testimony.
Yes, written testimony.
Mm-hmm.
Both of us gave written testimony to the legislature asking them not to pass the laws that took away our right to deny annexations. And we lost the vote at the state level. And so once we lose the vote at the state level, we have been superseded. And so if you could just give kind of a little synopsis on that.
Yeah, the short version is that our charter would typically require that this be sent to the voters. The state law, Senate Bill 1573, preempted our charter provision in that regard. And so our charter says that it defers to state law. When state law requires that it not go to the voters, it doesn't go to the voters. So there's no longer any option to send these to the voters when they comply with the Senate Bill 1573 requirements. And also Senate Bill 1573 sets out a limited number of criteria that they have to meet in order to be approved. And there is no discretion element for the city council. So if they meet the criteria, you have to approve it. And staff has determined, based on the staff report that you heard last time, that this meets all the criteria.
So legally, we don't have the right to deny at this point because the legislature has taken away our right. Okay. So I just want to make sure that that is clear to all of our citizens, that at least a couple of us fought it, gave our testimony to the state legislature, and actually our state legislator, our representatives, our state legislator, and our senator voted against this, but they passed it, and so we're stuck with it. So if we don't have any additional questions, do I have a motion?
So I'll go kicking and screaming into the motion. Let's see. I move that we approve ordinance 2017-004, approving annexation into the city of Sherwood of 2.21 acres comprised of one tax lot and adjacent Southwest Old Highway 99W right-of-way within the Brookman Addition concept plan because I don't have any other option.
Second.
Ordinance 2017-004, approving annexation to the city of Sherwood of 2.21 acres comprised of one tax lot and adjacent to Southwest Old Highway 99W Road right-of-way within the Brookman Addition Concept Plan area. Counselor Young?
Aye.
Counselor Garland?
Aye.
Counselor Robinson is absent, as is Counselor Kuiper. Council President Harris?
Aye.
Mayor Clark?
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay.
Preface, I do have other options. It would just put us in court, so. Which isn't enough.
So we have a second ordinance. So do we have an additional staff report?
Yes, so Sylvia's already read the script that applies to both.
Right.
So this is for the ordinance 2017-005. I'll be brief again because you heard this last time on
Right.
July 11th. This is the
Right.
second hearing.
I was just giving you an opportunity
Yes,
to
yes.
give a brief.
Yeah, so briefly,
Yeah.
this amends our current city code with regard to traffic controls and delegates certain authority to the city manager to, with regard to traffic controls consistent with what we've found in other neighboring cities, and sets procedures by which the city manager exercises those traffic controls. The only other notable thing that I'll draw your attention to one more time is simply that we are asking that you declare an emergency so that this can be effective immediately, so that we can process the pending requests for traffic controls that we have using this new process.
I'll open up the public hearing time. Do I have any public comment? All right, I'll close the public hearing time and I'll return to staff. Did staff have any additional information that they needed to relay to us? No? Okay. Does council have any questions? Okay. Do I have any discussion or a motion from council?
If there's no discussion, I'll raise the motion. All right. I move that we approve ordinance 2017-005, approving amendment of section 10.12.101 of the municipal code relating to the powers of city council and the city manager to establish traffic controls, declaring emergency.
Second.
Ordinance 2017-005, amending section 10.12.010 of the municipal code relating to the powers of city council and the city manager to establish traffic controls, declaring emergency. Counselor Young?
Aye.
Counselor Garland?
Aye.
Counselor Robinson is absent, as is Counselor Kuiper. Council President Harris?
Aye.
Mayor Clark?
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, council. And so tonight we will be having a community enhancement program committee meeting after council. And so we will be moving into that. And I wanted to just remind everyone at our next meeting, our next regularly scheduled meeting, we will be having our discussion about the RFPs for the recreation facility. So I just wanted to remind everyone that that will be a council discussion, that there will not be public comment time. And so I want to give everybody an opportunity. If they want to make public comment, go ahead and write those letters. Tell us what you think. Call into City Hall. If you want to get the information, it's up on our website. Everything is posted. All the RFPs are there for your viewing. And we would love to hear from you. So the next couple weeks will be your final opportunity to give us that input before we go into discussion to make a decision on our recreational facility. So that's all. I will adjourn to the Community Enhancement Program Committee meeting. We are adjourned.
Change kind of at the 11th hour to the site plan to add some articulation on that third floor, and we'll look at that in a little bit. But we